everybody. Let's do this. Here we go!
Hello Musketeers, welcome to Mondays with Mickey. My name is Mike Knigge and I am your host. And this week I wanted to take a few minutes to talk a little bit about the Pirates of the Caribbean attraction. For those who are familiar with Disney, and for those who are even somewhat loosely familiar with Disney, most people know that the Pirates of the Caribbean is an attraction that is beloved, and it's found in pretty much all the Disney parks. Those who aren't as knowledgeable about the parks are at least aware of the movies. Now, I want to take a minute to talk a little bit about this attraction because the one at Walt Disney World just came out of a refurbishment. A similar one was recently done in Paris, and there were some changes I really wanted to talk about. But before I get into that, let me at least give a little history about this attraction. Okay, the Pirates of the Caribbean attraction, the original, was at Disneyland out in California. Now, it was a very popular attraction, and people were really enjoying it. When they went to create the attraction at Walt Disney World, however, they felt that because the theming of the attraction was so close to the actual place that the attraction is themed after, they figured Floridians wouldn't be interested. And they thought that it would be too much in their own backyard. Who would care? Well, they were wrong. Right after the Magic Kingdom opened, people started asking, where is this Pirates attraction we keep hearing about from Disneyland? So, in a scramble, Disney had a spot for another ride that they were planning in the Magic Kingdom that they decided to shoehorn the Pirates of the Caribbean into its place instead. The other attraction was going to be kind of a safari type attraction. There's going to be a boat ride as well, as I understand. But, they decided, hey, look, people want this Pirates of the Caribbean so bad. They went ahead and kind of rigged it to make it work and make it fit in that location. So, as a result, our attraction, the Walt Disney World version, is slightly shorter than the one in Disneyland, mainly because it was never originally designed to be in Walt Disney World. Now, on to some of the changes that have been happening over the years. Now, one thing to keep in mind that this pirate-themed attraction was originally imagined during a time in which political correctness wasn't as, how should I put it, as tight as it is today. There were things that, and things and opinions and ideas and whatnot that people commonly held back in those days that wouldn't fly today. So, over the years, there have been several changes to this attraction. And ongoing, the attractions across the world, i.e. Paris just did theirs, we just did ours in Walt Disney World, and as I understand it, the changes are coming to Disneyland as well. Now, what changes? You're probably asking me what's going on here. Well, let me start with some of the basic changes that have happened over the years, ones that weren't necessarily driven by political correctness. One of the big changes is that when the Pirates of the Caribbean attraction inspired this very successful movie series, Pirates of the Caribbean, they decided to do an update that included Jack Sparrow into the Pirates of the Caribbean rides. Now, that's a major change because they've added animatronics to the ride and they changed the theming and some of the wording in the ride to talk about Jack Sparrow. So that was the first one, and that one wasn't politically correct driven. Another one would be, basic refurbishments where they've updated costumes and things like that, and changed little bits like that of the look. Minor changes. The big changes come because of Disney's desire to stay very politically correct and very family friendly. One of the first changes, and it wasn't part of this recent change, but this is probably the first big change when it comes to political correctness that happened a few years back, was at one point in the ride, you see a pirate chasing a woman basically in circles. He's just chasing her, trying to catch her and get her. Your imagination as to why he's trying to get her. But people felt that maybe that wasn't right. That having a guy chase a girl to kind of attack her and take her how he wished was not something that Disney wanted. That's not an image that Disney wanted to portray to families. Again, when this ride was originally imagined, they were just thinking, what would a pirate do? And that was just something a pirate would do. So, they didn't think about political correctness. They weren't thinking about, whose butt might get hurt by seeing certain imagery. They were looking at, hey, look, this is a pirate ride. You all know what pirates are like. This shouldn't surprise you. But, again, driven by political correctness, Disney decided to make a change. And now that particular portion of the ride, the pirate is no longer chasing the lady. The lady is chasing the pirate with a broom. As in, she's like, get out of my house. And she's trying to whack him with a broom. Funny change. More politically correct. There you go. Fast forward to in the last couple of years. There is a scene in the Pirates of the Caribbean ride where there is a redheaded lady, wench, whatever you want to call her, and the pirates are auctioning her off, along with other people that they have captured. Now, again, a political correct situation kicked in, saying, do we really want the imagery of pirates selling these women off into essentially slavery? And, on one hand, I get it. That's not necessarily the imagery you want to give. But I'm in the camp of, this is an original attraction. This is a very classic attraction for Disney in general. And the imagery, although it might unsettle us in some ways today, the imagery it makes sense for pirates. Pirates were not good guys. And one of the downsides, positive upsides and downsides to the movies, the Pirates of the Caribbean movies, is it glorified these pirates. It made them into heroes. People that we like. Jack Sparrow, Savvy. But people forget, he's a pirate. So he's known for raping, pillaging, stealing, burning down towns, drinking rum to excess and getting drunk, having a new wench in every port. They're pirates, and people seem to forget that because the movies kind of made Jack Sparrow to be a hero. Now that's no negativity towards Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp did fantastic as Jack Sparrow. Barbossa, one of my favorite pirates. These pirates, you learn to love them, but they are bad guys, and people seem to forget that. And, looking at the ride, they're like, hey, look, we've portrayed these pirates not to be heroes. People love these pirates. So they wanted to tone things down a little bit, make it a little more politically correct, because they didn't want people to think that these characters that we've all come to love are really bad guys. Okay? It's not like Wreck-It Ralph, where I'm a bad guy and that's good, and I'll never be good and that's not bad. In some ways, yes, it is, but they don't want to, cheerlead that, hey, auctioning off women is a good thing. So they decided to change the scene. The new scene is the redhead, the particular character in question, is no longer being auctioned off. She is now a pirate. And what they're doing is they're auctioning off chickens that they have captured in their pillaging. And, the auctioneers really pushing this idea of, hey, this chicken lays good eggs. It's 10 shillings or whatever it is. You can have this chicken that lays great eggs. And, the other pirates are making cracks like, hey, look, only if it lays golden eggs and that kind of thing. But the new character, well, she's not really a new character, but the new pirate, the redhead, she's chiming in saying, they don't want the chickens, they want the rum. And, she's, cheerleading the idea of stop worrying about the chickens, let's start selling the rum. And, whether selling alcohol is a Disney-esque, imagery, it is something that, rum goes hand in hand with Jack Sparrow. He loves the rum, so it makes sense for them to tie in the rum. And it also, it makes sense for the pirates, would they rather chicken or rum? Rum. So, for better, for worse, for richer or poor, that is a change. And, honestly, I thought that change was going to bother me the most. I knew about that change. I was kind of bummed they were going to change it. I don't dislike the new scene. The new scene's fine. I was actually very taken back by another scene that they changed without warning. Everyone knew about this big change about the redhead. They didn't know about another change. And that is right after you passed under the mist. There's a mist where they project one of the pirates from the different movies' face on it. Usually it's Blackbeard or Davy Jones. I think it used to be Barbossa. I'm not sure if he's still on there yet or not. But, they're warning you about, dead men tell no tales and that kind of thing. Right after you go through that, you come across this scene in which you have some skeletons, a pirate flag. It used to have a chest full of gold, as well as essentially a coffin with a skeleton of a mermaid in it. And in the background, you heard the mermaid's song from Stranger Tides, where they're singing Johnny Sailor Bold. The music they were singing to the pirates in the longboat, and it's very melodic, very eerie. It definitely makes you stop for a second and go, ooh, what's going on? And they took the mermaid out in this scene. She's no longer in the coffin on the sand. They took the treasure chest out. But more importantly, they took the music out. The mermaid singing. So the scene you hit, you just kind of hear seagulls in the background, you hear the water, you can kind of hear the stuff from up ahead, you can hear the stuff from behind you, but it's become kind of a bland scene. And that actually surprisingly took me back the most. I was like, wow, that eeriness really made for a great scene in this ride, and they've taken it away. So I haven't experienced it in person yet. I've just watched videos on YouTube, and I would recommend hop on YouTube and watch a video from the ride before they did the refurbishment. Watch the video from the ride after the refurbishment, and decide for yourselves whether you like it or not. Now, better yet, if you're familiar with the way it was before they refurbed it, go over there and check it out. See what you think. See how you feel about it. And let me know what you think about it. But personally, of all the changes they made, that bothers me the most. Even if they had just taken the mermaid out and left the music really set a great tone for the ride, and I'm kind of bummed that they got rid of it. So, short episode this week, guys. I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about this attraction since they just refurbed it. And I wanted to get your opinions on it, see what you guys thought. If you agree with me that maybe some of the changes weren't necessary, or if you love all the changes, feel free to comment below. I'd love to hear what you think. Particularly if you've been on it since they've refurbed it. I really want to see what you think about, the changes and whether you think it was good changes or bad changes. And again, if you can't get out there, look it up on YouTube. I mean, you're already on there now. You're watching me. So look it up. Check out the ride videos from before and after and see what you think, and comment below. Let me know what you think, because I'd really like to get other people's opinions on whether these changes were good or bad. So I'm going to leave you as I leave you every week. Thank you so much for watching. I hope we never lose sight of one thing. This is all started by Mouse. Thank you so much for watching again, and we'll see you next week. Don't forget to subscribe or comment below. Give this video a like, and we'll see you guys next week. Thank you very much. Bye.